Life is a trip, sometimes I just can't get a grip. Smoking fast spliffs, replace all the negativity quick with creativity by expressing artistically through various activities. Nice sessions of rapid retreat.
I think it's frozen. It's frozen. No, it's not. Yo. Hi, welcome. My name is Anthony Isaac. Thanks for tuning in today. We have a special episode. We have an interview with the amazing, talented, gracious, and gorgeous Amanda Lynn. And so I went on a road trip. I went on a trip to celebrate freedom, unclip my wings. I'm doing this YouTube and art and music full time now. So with that, I went on a little inspiration road trip up to Humboldt. I went up to Santa Rosa to meet Amanda Lynn, and I went to various other places. During this interview, it was really great to meet with her and talk with her. And I forgot to share that she is part of an amazing book project called Learn, Lead, and Lift by Wendy Ryan. And I will plug that at the end of the video. So just stay tuned, and thanks for tuning in. All right, catch up with you. Peace. Don't let it be alone. We're gonna start. I guess we're doing an interview here. We're just kicking it though here in Santa Rosa with Amanda Lynn here. This is Dreams to Reality. Welcome. So when was the last time you actually had like a regular job?
I mean, I guess that
to
me.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like that?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, to me, that was a regular job.
For real, 100%, no doubt about it.
Oh, like,
but you know what I mean, like even you know what I mean,
like a non-art based job.
Non-art. There we go. That's more specific.
I was a hostess at Hostel Steak and Sea House when I was 15, 16.
Wow. And then, so like, I mean, that's taking it way back because didn't you come to the city when you were about maybe 20, 21?
Yeah, 19.
So then you had a job like in the city or something?
I worked at Kids Only, this kid store up on Haight Street. I got it my second day.
No art
in
involved.
San Francisco. Well, yeah, I painted the window. I mean, I turned every job
that is
into
so
art.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's amazing. So you're just
signs.
like, because you gotta imagine there's people out there, and that's kind of who my audience, I'm not really specifically speaking to, but there is an audience out there of people who still do the split, like, you know, bus table serve and do art. It's most of us. Yeah.
Important.
It is, yeah.
I literally have always maintained a job and done my art. So
yeah. But I think it's amazing how you incorporated the whole.
I always make sure to put art into whatever job I'm doing.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I was, you know, it is the pandemic that forced me into going full freelance, which is terrifying.
Right.
But it's worked out because luckily the pandemic also made people appreciate art more.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are home and want murals.
Right. Do you feel that like so you always create kind of art as a job too? But so I have a buddy who does art as well. He kind of did the same thing, but he was doing sign painting, and big time. But he said he was burnt out on doing the creative stuff because he was doing so much sign painting. Is that the case for you, or you always find inspiration?
Yeah, I actually find more inspiration the busier I am. So I painted cars and motorcycles. I've done sign painting, sculpture restoration. I literally just hustle in order to make. I never wanted my art to be impeded on the fact that I needed to make money from it, because doing mural art and painting is what makes me sane. So that's why I always maintained some kind of job that was could financially support that. And you know, I mean, it's a combination of pandemic and then me doing it for 21 years or something, you know, that it all culminated into being a career.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Your art background, you're from Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So that's a while ago. That was 20 years ago when you first came here.
Yeah, I grew up, I painted with an artist there. His name was Robin Grass. He basically taught me a style of painting.
Classic style?
No, it's he's really cool. He's a fantasy.
Is it?
Yeah, I could send you some of his.
I kind of cross-referenced a little bit. I couldn't really get it.
Oh yeah, he doesn't do any online. I mean,
That's
he's
cool.
he's his own little troll that lives in the forest in Pennsylvania. With trees growing inside his house.
That was your Yoda.
He really is my Yoda. Yeah. I mean, I aspire to be just like him.
So you had a young base, formulating art. Your parents were very supportive of you also.
Yeah, as a kid, and I wouldn't say they were super stoked on me going to art school or anything,
Really?
but I forced that.
You went to an art academy?
My first year I went to University of Delaware, and then I
Okay.
dropped out, and I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm going to art school, so I came out here, and then ended up going to the Academy of Art. Yeah.
Is that the one that scanned people? No, that's not the one.
Probably. I
Is
don't
it?
know.
I don't know. I remember, and then I remember the homies like back in the day used to go to that one. I think it was Art Academy where a bunch of graph writers would be there. There was a bunch of graph writers.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's like the Art Institute, which was much more expensive and higher caliber, and now the Academy has become accredited and is like a bigger school. When I went, it wasn't accredited.
Okay.
Which
Maybe
we
that was
didn't
the case.
know, which they didn't really tell, which did seem, a lot of people felt scammed because
Okay.
they then tried to go on to get like, you know,
Right. They're
bigger
continue,
degrees.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean, for me, it was like,
It was clear for you. You're just like, yeah, I'm getting in this to get.
I wanted the experience. I mean, it was a good business school actually. It taught me like good business sense. You know, and I mean, schools what you take out of it, right? I met this amazing muralist, was my teacher, Mona Karen, who's like amazing, and she I went to her illustration, but she taught like a few mural classes because we asked, and like super inspiring. And Kazu Sano, there was just like a few teachers that, you know, just those few people in your life that you meet that like push you.
Yeah, I had mine. Oh, two things popped in my head. Three things now. One was the big case. So we talked about art background, and then you went somewhere, and then you went somewhere, and then you went to. Okay, and then I went to like your first mural. What was your first mural? Your first big mural?
Oh, my first big
Yeah,
mural?
it was at home, right? It was in Delaware, right? No.
I mean, that was my very, like my first mural was
First.
in my parents' house.
Okay.
And
let's
then
let's go to that one.
Okay, and it was a wall of flowers.
All right, wall of flowers.
And
Stay true to that.
Yeah, and it's funny that I've like
No, it's
come
not.
back
It's,
around
it's
to
dope
just
because
painting that.
I don't know if you know Press One by any chance. He's a tribal
Sounds familiar.
writer. He's a tribal
Okay.
artist. He's dope. He's old school. He's like super Miyagi to a lot of people. He's one of those silent people that's just like so sharp. It's like insane. You know, it's a young age, and I've known him for a while. But like he looked at my book one time about 20 years ago, and he's like. They looked at my writing, my tagging from like 10 years prior to that. He's like, you always keep. There's always something you kind of keep. So it's that T. It's to do this thing with your T, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like it's kind of true. You always have a signature, so your flowers are kind of your go-to.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I have like some stuff like that. I always kind of come back to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Yes, I mean, I look back at it and it's similar at this point. You know, it took me a whole lot longer.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't even know how
It
you
was a
did
little
it
more
these days.
stiff.
So that was that. So the first mural, and then the first mural, like away from parents, like in public environment.
I did paint in Delaware. I painted this whole courtyard. Took me all summer, actually. I think I got paid like $500 or something. And then, you know, I left and I came to California, and that's where I was introduced to graffiti, essentially.
All right, so yeah, that was the bridge to that. You actually took the bridge for me. Was then you painted a mural at Folsom, 1384 Folsom. That was your first like city mural.
Oh, you were there with Brenna and all that?
See, I just pulled a Nardwar on you.
Okay,
I did my research. I wanted to back
I was
you.
like, wow.
Yeah, I was
that
watching.
like-
Yeah. I've
and
been a
that
fan
was,
since then.
I think that was actually like my second, but that one, and that one's still, well, that shipping container that Brenna and I painted is not there anymore, but that wall's there.
Yeah, I passed by it the
Grimy
other day.
and all that,
I was gonna go back and take pictures, but like that's dope. So that was your first like graphic experience, like or like whatever.
It
Public.
was the beginning.
Beginning.
My first wall was 22nd and Folsom with Grime and Norm.
All right.
And then we painted down in the alley in Lower Clinton Park. And that one's still there. That one has a saber and Norm and Steel. I painted with, I did a character on Steel's piece. And that one's still there, actually.
You have quite a few that are still running.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that means those are like 20 years old.
To me, that was my my experience. That was like first like exposure to you.
Painting those
Yeah.
cities, yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I thought it
and
was
you know,
dope.
I went out there with my favorite.
You're crushing it. You're going pretty hard with that stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I learned, right? Because they were all doing pieces, and I needed to finish the same amount of time, so I had to like
Right, because a couple hours. Like
Yeah,
4
pick it
hours,
up.
4-6 hours
Yeah.
a day, right?
do a
Like
little
a session.
paintbrushes. I mean,
So that's another thing I had written down. I'm kind of freestyling that now, but like why not aerosol? Why didn't you like go aerosol?
I love to paint.
Okay. Cool.
And you know, I sprayed, like I said, I did automotive for like a decade, and I can spray and use airbrushes and stuff, but
Because of the size, I'm saying.
it feels like work.
Word. That's
When
what's
I
up.
spray, it's like I don't. It's not. And now I am.
And you have a technique now that kind of, while watching, that do you use bigger brushes now, or is it like just...
Yeah, I mean, because of starting with graffiti writers, I had to figure out speed.
Yeah.
And then I just
You
got
just
bigger
had a
and went
method.
faster, and honestly now I'm just chemical free and prefer to not use cans and stuff.
Beautiful, I like that. I mean, I like it because you stand. I mean, and not because I am, because I do myself, right?
I mean, and obviously I still use it on like bumpy wall, like certain things.
Yeah. But it's do the best you can.
Yeah.
That's dope because you do go really big. You did some project recently, just not like last week or 2 weeks ago.
Was that the ambulance
Purple
spot?
one?
Yeah.
That thing's mega. It's huge.
It was bigger than it took me longer
Yeah,
than I
like-
thought. I was really fucking tired. I was like, oh, I can have this out in 3 days, and then I was like, damn, dude,
So I was saying, I'm like, what is she on right now? Like, you're really killing it, and it's so. Do you use no projectors? No projectors.
I use projectors.
Oh yeah, me too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No.
It's
I
like
mean,
work smarter, not harder for you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's
and
like,
you can't
grids
always,
are
and they
cool,
don't always.
but it's like more work,
It's not
right?
always but even if you just get those few lines.
Yeah.
Then the next day you're
You know
just
you can do it
so-
freestyle. You know you can do all this and that.
And
It's
I've
just
done
why
plenty of
not smash it
freestyle,
out
yeah.
like time thing, right? So it's,
Yeah.
that's for people out there. It's like I went through the whole process. It's, no, it's just a lot of people do. Some people don't like Nichos. He does. I don't think he does.
No, he
Those guys.
doesn't.
Why even go there? Those guys, they're different design. Like the idea is not to compare.
Yeah, no, his mind's incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
to watch him paint's so much fun.
Right. You watch them paint.
Yeah, so with the festival, I was really fortunate.
Oh.
I got to hire all these artists and get them paid and then hang out and we all had fun. It was super awesome.
That's awesome. All right, so there's that graffiti, aerosol, large pieces. I don't know, like there's like generic questions you could ask you, like what inspires you? Like it kind of is and it kind of isn't. But it's like, yeah, what currently inspires you?
I mean, I'm very inspired by nature and usually what I'm surrounded by. So I spent 2 or 3 years in the Caribbean working. I was there every couple months, and so that's when my works turned very tropical.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
And I had, like that kind of plant life and stuff. I just hadn't been submersed in it, and then like being on it was the Cayman Islands, like being there and like being a part of it, it just like infiltrated my brain. So that was a huge inspiration, and now I live in the forest, so that's sort of I'm more inspired that way.
Location. So location. Like, is it-
Forestville.
No, I mean not where exactly, but like your location, your environment. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Inspires you. So
inspires
when you
me.
moved, because you went from Penn to like Mission District, right? And that was, I mean, back in the day, it was just insanely.
Insane.
It was energy. It's interesting, man. It was like a shift because I remember, like I grew up in my teens trying to come up here late '90s, and that was a field. That was when maybe before you were in college, but I remember there's an art academy then. That's when my homies went there.
Yeah, no,
And
I mean it was.
and it was like that weird. Like I remember Revoke and all those cats were just doing it, and Saber, and it was just like, potential. And then
I came
and
on
then,
the tail end right as they
yeah, and then when that flipped, it was like then people were doing it, and then it feels like you were there and you caught that wave. Like I don't know, now you're riding that wave. Let's go.
Yeah, no, I mean, and obviously those guys were a huge inspiration to me and encouraged me, and so there's all these people that are like, women don't get enough credit, which, they don't necessarily in the world, but I would say that all those guys, though I've gone bigger and been more pushed by women, they all encouraged me. So I was very fortunate, nobody was like, don't paint.
They're like brothers, just like exactly. They have good energy. And
Very intense.
Yeah. I know some of the cats. They're good guys, and yeah, that's the only way you rise.
Yeah.
Is with that type of
And a
energy.
lot of shit talking.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta get yourself checked, I guess, if you're not coming.
Definitely.
I mean, if you're gonna run with those guys, yeah. But I think you definitely match that caliber, and I would say there's no competition, but and you're just doing your thing. You're doing your thing. You're flying in your course with your energy, I think, in that. I just noticed there's a good balance between like feminine energy and masculine energy, and I don't even know what that conversation means, but like sometimes I think of graffiti as masculine energy, right? It's a lot of like just like in your face, big, like and that idea can be translated into something that's more calm, and not to say it's feminine energy, but see where these conversations are kind of going in and out of, and so like for a man to kind of like for me to step away from that kind of world and look towards women now as inspirations. Like I have my homegirls and it's just like maybe for the guys not to back off, but it's like let the women shine and almost learn like almost like some of the men taught you. It's like learn from each other. It's because it's all one thing. There is no feminine, there is no masculine. It's all God energy.
I was like, everyone's just painting walls.
Right. And but it's like kind of that. It is learning, kind of stepping back. But I think just like what you're doing is pretty. It's big and it's like in your face and it's dope. But it's not like it's like nurturing. I guess nurturing. It's like nurturing.
Yeah, I hope that make people happy.
Yeah. I think it's cool. And a lot of the other girls are like women are doing it too. And I think it's
my God, there's so many girls out there and a lot of young girls coming up. Killing it.
She's loving the sun. So that's what's up. You're just finding a lot of people out there.
It's really important for me to also raise people up and encourage them to be. That's like a life goal of mine because I have that.
Beautiful. This idea of service, hey?
Yeah, and I do want to teach, and I am going to, I should say, I'm going to teach mural art, and that's going to be a thing that I want to do for kids, especially like in the early teen years. Like, I was so lucky to paint with this man, Robin Grass, so I always, no matter what trouble I got into, I still had this thing I wanted to do, no matter what that I was going to do. So I want to, like, give that to kids too.
Yes. Yeah, it's that, I totally get that. It's like, I have that streak. I mean, that's what kind of why I do this YouTube. It's sharing with people like that. You're like perfect for it's that idea, the concept you're giving away. So people don't have to go down that road. And if they do, that's fine. People have to do what they have to do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But
come back around.
But there's those robins in the pathway that let us kind of always kind of in the back of the head. Always maybe.
Yeah.
And then or that whatever it is, the lesson, whether it be like a tool that I use for art or a life lesson, it's like we remember those as we hold it, and we want to give it away.
It's true. Idea. It's true because what's the point?
Yeah, that's amazing. So when do you think you're going to start that? Is this
I got this house and I closed on December 31st, so it's finally like a space where I feel like I can do that. And at first I was like so hell bent. I built this wall and I was like, I have to do this, and it's just been so crazy. I'm gonna live there the rest of my life, and so I'm taking a deep breath.
Okay, yes.
And it's going to happen. I just need to. I want to do it, because it was also pandemic, and I was like, how am I gonna do that with like making parents feel comfortable? And so, I'm just gonna give it a little bit of time, the next year or so.
Yeah, like you said, to breathe, letting it take.
Take a breath and
I have it.
Approach it in the right way.
Watching you and watching people, and watching just even where I'm at and everything like that. It's just when I had that young energy, it was like I don't know, like as we get older, it's kind of you can see there's a lot of time left. Not a lot, but
you don't need to force things.
Yeah. And if you're gonna, because that's a big idea though. But I think it's a big idea, and I used to try to get those ideas done in my 30s, and I would get so bummed out that I would give it up. Yeah. So I had an idea to do a nonprofit to teach urban heroes art labs, to teach at-risk kids the craft of aerosol art, so as like a profession, muralism as a profession to stay out of trouble. Teach them kind of the consequences of it too, the lessons. And then be like a token. But that it didn't work out for me, so I kind of gave up. The idea is just to breathe.
and realize that it all takes time.
It all takes a lot of time, a lot of work, and teamwork and community.
Yeah. And I'm really lucky. The woman that my painting partner, Lady Mags, is an educator by profession, and she's done a lot of stuff already with like walls of teach and things like that. So I got a lot of insight.
You guys have been working together for quite some time now.
It's been 11 years, yeah.
It's dope.
Yeah, super lucky. And so, I met her and a bunch of other women at the same time, and we just really clicked.
She's like your, whatever you guys, I won't even say, like Batman, Robin, but you guys are like the, dream team.
Yeah, dream team.
There's no one better than the other. Yeah, you guys kill it as a sub. It's good to have a partner. I never really had that, but it's dope to see.
And it's nice because I still done the painting with graffiti, which is, you know, as much as I definitely am a muralist, but like I grew up with graffiti writers, so it's like I like to have that energy with it.
Oh yeah. You play with it like it's very natural, bounce off it.
And I respect that world. I respect all the little tigers. You know, like I think most people think that I don't like them, but I'm like, oh no, I like. It makes me smile when I see tigers.
It's some expression.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's just doing their thing, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
What are you working on now?
Right now, well, I'm getting prepared to go to Idaho. I got Idaho, New York, San Diego.
San Diego.
I'm coming to San Diego, yeah.
Cool.
I got a job there in Imperial Beach, and then Carly Ely, do you know who that is?
Yeah, I want to get her too. She's dope.
She's great. Yeah, and then we're gonna repaint a wall in Encinitas together.
Okay, let me know where you do that. I'll take some photos.
Yeah, it'll be
That'd
beginning
cool.
of July.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we get some footage.
Nice. Yeah, we have it's on the First Street Bar and Grill. We have a long one there. It's been there for like 5 years or something.
Word. Wait, which one? What street? I mean,
It's,
what city?
First Street, Encinitas.
Encinitas, so northern.
Yeah.
Cool. That's beautiful up there.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's dope.
Yeah,
You're
so
gonna be-
Kaboo was the festival that I worked.
Kaboo, yeah, that's amazing. I kind of kept an eye on it. I didn't go to it, but I saw the aftermath of it, which was pretty amazing. What Carly did. It was a 2-story like hotel thing.
Yeah, it was called. What was it called?
Did she do
Motel
that?
6.
She had to use a projector on the thing,
Did we use it?
or maybe not.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
a grid.
No, I think we used a projector. So I did the blue, and
That was fun.
my assistant and I did that, and then I think she used a projector. It was hard though because it had all the slats.
Yeah.
And she like doesn't normally overly use a projector, like.
Yeah, she's a freestyler.
And uses all spray now. So she's not been painting long.
I'm watching her too.
Come the fuck
I'm watching
up, yeah.
you guys. You guys are just slaying it.
Impressive. Yeah.
It's dope. Really, really inspiring to watch.
Yeah, she painted one of her very first murals with me and Gloria and Aaron Moshi.
Word.
And Chuck.
Yeah, she kind of came out of left in San Diego, and like she's the queen house in there for sure. So, okay.
Oh, I like that. I'm gonna tell her.
No, I
San
think.
Diego,
Yeah.
friend.
So okay, so this is that. You're on the road. You're working on. Are you working on anything today, or are you working on just?
Oh yeah. I'm
You
like,
always are you always working on? So that's the thing. I'm kind of ADD, so I tend to like I do music, and I have to kind of do that because if not, my brain doesn't operate from painting.
Mhm.
But like you constantly you have a lot of time for painting, right? You do paint.
I like never stop working. I'm like, there's definitely 6 things, and then people asking about those other things, and I'm like, it's coming.
Yeah. So I want to thank you first, like for the time that you took. There's a lot of things you could be doing right now.
I'll go back and do it. It's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I appreciate the interest.
Yeah.
One thing in life I learned is this: operate cool and calm like the breeze in the trees. Even though the pressures of life they persist, said we gotta learn to grow, but sometimes I get pissed. Wanna make a fist, howl at the moon and throw a fit, but nah, not me, dude. I'm well equipped with a heart of gold and a time aside that just won't quit. Don't let it be alarming, but darling, you never met a man like me before. I'm quite charmed. I'm raw mixed with eloquence, perfectly flawed, but don't stall. Now let's commence with beats that I haven't sent. We cut a rug, do the jitterbug, feel the love. Life, stress, and pain, let it go, give it a shrug. And if you need a hug after the show, I got you.
Don't you trust anybody?